uh, in Iran, people often go to their homes. Go to their homes and gathered around each other and talk about their families. And we usually have traditional parties. But if you go abroad or if you see foreign people, you can understand that our parties are different from theirs. And you cannot compare these two kind of parties. For example, in foreign countries, boys and girls, especially they are students.
Hi, Reza.
Speak
Hi.
Hello, how
the
are you?
part.
Fine, thank you. Hi.
How are you?
Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem. We are at your service.
Please complete your sentence, Mr. Said.
Okay, I was talking about party in Iran. So if I want to have a result in my speech, in Iran we have traditional parties, but in European countries or the other countries we have modern parties.
I will come to you again and I will ask you the difference between traditional parties and modern parties. But thank you for your explanation. Now I want Ali Reza to speak more about our parties and the way you hold parties.
I speak.
Yes, please.
In my opinion, say the party in Iran are the people try to party luxury, and in this not good.
You mean that Iranian people try to hold luxurious parties and it's not good because, for example, they want to show off all the time and they don't enjoy being or they don't enjoy spending time with each other and mostly they want to show off. Yeah, you mean this?
Yes.
Mhm. Thank you very much. And do you usually gather with your relatives or with your friends? Which one do you prefer?
I usually my friends.
You prefer spending time with your friends, yeah?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I will come back to you and ask you some other questions, but thank you up to now. And Reza, thank you for joining us. As you know, we are talking about
Okay.
Iranian parties and foreign parties. And you tell us about Iranian parties and the way you hold your parties. Do you prefer parties with your friends or family? And how often do you gather together? And these kind of things.
Talking about parties, I can say that I mainly attend family parties, not friend parties, because I am more often invited to family parties rather than friends parties, and I don't see many differences between these two. And some alcoholic drinks might be the major difference between Iranian and modern countries parties or stuff, and or the guests are treated um, are mainly different, in different parts of the world.
What are the differences?
According to their custom, according to their tradition, and based on the way they think that which makes and which comforts the which things comfort the guest most. For example, I know that in southern part of Iran, tea, drinking tea has a special, custom and tradition. And if you don't know it, you are going to have a problem. As I remember, one of my friends told me that you should shake your actually cup. If you want to say thank you, that's enough, right? And he said that I had to drink 5 or 6 cups of coffee because I didn't know how to say that's okay. Because they think that uh, their guest should be at the most comfortable situation. So, and another difference is the host. Iranian hosts are the most hospitable hosts ever on earth, in my opinion. So, should I add anything? If I should, please let me know.
Thank you very much. It was really nice, and I wanted to tell you about some of European countries' custom. I don't know exactly which countries, but I have heard that, for example, in Iran, when we want to go to somebody's house, we buy something. I don't know, for example, a gift or a chocolate box, or I don't know, a bunch of flower or something like that, and we take that to our host or our hostess house, and we give them. But in some of European houses, some of European cultures, if you want to go to their house, you have to give them a gift separately. I mean, you have to give the woman a gift, and the man a separated gift, and it is not acceptable for them to take them, for example, just a bunch of flower. They don't share the gift with each other, and they want a gift for themselves, exactly, specifically. And I think it is one of the differences between ours and their culture. And the interesting point is that if you go to their house, and if you take just one gift, it would be offensive in their eyes. And I think, as you said, it can make us discomfort, and it could be offensive, and that's all. Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
something that I know about Chinese people
Uh-huh.
is that they only accept and they only welcome the kind of gifts which are wrapped in red paper, red wrapper paper. I mean, and if it is wrapped in blue, it would be so offensive.
Oh, I
And
didn't know that.
as for
How about
yeah,
other colors?
no, we should. Uh, it would be the most suitable color. Red would be the most suitable color for Chinese people. And as you can see in their decoration and ornaments, they always use red as their favorite color. And also, we should be really cautious about culture shock to avoid culture shock. For example, I guess number 4 for Chinese people is a curse number like 13, which is for Iran. And so this is another point. And as far as I remember, a couple of years ago, there were two Polish guests. I had 2 Polish guests, and I came across them in one of Tehran subway stations, and I invited them to my city, and they had a tour of Iran. They had a whole, a national-wide tour around Iran, and their final destination was my city. Then they went to Tehran, and it was amazing. And what really struck me about their behavior was that whenever they went somewhere, um, and they took something as the present you said, especially candy or something, and it was the moment that I understood that we are not alone, in pleasing our hosts.
Exactly. Do they do that for the first time that they go somewhere, or
No, I asked them. I particularly asked them about this this endeavor, and they told me no. It is considered so rude if we go somewhere without anything as a gift.
Oh, whether it is the first time or not?
First time or second time, whenever they visit each other, they pay and they give something as a gift, especially a box of chocolate, a box of candy or something.
Aha, I didn't know that. Thank you very much. Okay, Said, please participate in our discussion and say something. Thank you for listening carefully.
Okay. So my friend, our friend, I don't know what his name is, but he might be a professional teacher because he can speak well, and he has a lot of information about everything, and that's clear by his speaking. And I don't have something special to say to you. Just I wanna tell you. I want to tell you, unfortunately, I had a bad headache today because when I was taking a shower and when I was in bathroom, my parents came to home and I didn't know, and they used hasharakosh. I don't know what this word is.
Insecticide. It is called insecticide.
Insecticide. Thank you for informing me.
Insecticide, yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know the substitute English words for that. But when I came from the bathroom, I suddenly had a bad headache, and I don't know what to say about parties.
Okay, let me
Right?
let me ask you.
So I don't know anything about Said. You said what was our friend's name?
Said.
Savanaz. Would you introduce him to me, or
Yeah,
he would,
he's
he would?
Said. He's Said, and last night was the first time that I met him, and he got familiar with us via Instagram, and I don't have a lot of information about him, but I just
So he
know
can introduce,
he's
he can introduce and give some more information about himself. Where he is from and stuff.
he's from Lorestan. I know that.
Oh, great! I
Yeah,
love them.
he
I
lives
love them. I love them.
he lives in Khorramabad, and he's really interested in English.
Hmm.
And
Well, he speaks well. He speaks well in English. He's well
yeah, he
fluent.
speaks well because he likes to
It's
be
just kind of you.
Hmm.
an English teacher in the near future.
Great,
Yeah, and
great.
he is attending our free discussion sessions in order to improve his English speaking, and that was all that I knew about him. If you want to know more, you can ask him questions.
No. It's okay. That's enough. Just knowing how old he is, where he is from, that would be okay.
Yeah, he's
And
32
he's,
years
I
old.
guess, 32 years old. Great. And I guess he's so lucky to have us helping him.
Okay. That's a great honor for me. That's a great honor for me.
I don't
And
want, I don't want to
that's a I
brag
joined
on
here.
myself.
That's the reason I joined here to learn a lot about English or the other things that you know. And you're speaking and you're showing us your high information about and I want to say your general knowledge is enough good and is excellent. So I'm
Thank you,
here
Said.
just to listen and learn. Please
Uh,
speak.
but speaking is not one of those skills that can be achieved only through staying and keep isolating yourself from other people. You should talk. You should learn talking through talking, not just staying isolated.
Yeah, exactly. Reza,
You're welcome.
your video is freezed.
I don't know why. Yes, I was. I don't know how I can activate it. Maybe my internet connection is still poor or something.
The quality of your voice is really great, but I guess If you go and join the call again, it would be solved, I guess so.
So I would do it. I would do it right away.
Thank you very much.
So during the time that he's trying to come again, please tell us something useful about English or about the other thing or about parties, dear teacher.
Yeah,
I'm here to learn something.
I wanted to ask you about the things that you do. It is okay right now, Reza.
Am I okay, dynamic?
Yeah. I can see you moving. Thank you. I was asking Saeed about the things that they do in their parties. What do you usually do in your parties? For example, I know you speak, or for example, you eat, or do you listen to music? Do you dance, or I don't know, do you watch TV? Something like this.
So it depends on that kind of party. If you go to a wedding party, that's much different from the other kind of parties. For example, when you go to a wedding party, you can dance over there with your friends or with your families, and you can eat something forbidden like alcoholic. But if you would like, and after that you will be hot, and you're suitable for dancing well. But if you go to the other kind of parties, like for example, I have some close friend. When they call me, we will go out and we sit around each other. And sometimes, just sometimes, I don't want to say that it's a usual plan for me. Sometimes we gather around each other and smoking hookah. Smoking hookah. This is the kind of party. But we have another party that we go to our relatives' homes and say hello, how are you? Where's your daughter? Where's your sister? What are you doing these days? These three kinds of party we have in our country, but I don't have a lot of information about foreign countries' parties.
Mm-hmm.
And
I again freeze, huh?
Yeah, no
I
problem.
freezed again.
Take it easy.
Yes. No problem. Your voice is better. Is more useful for us. Your portrait.
Okay,
You're handsome enough handsome. But it's better to use your voice.
yeah, it is better than the previous one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Take it easy, Reza. Just continue talking, and let me, Jana.
I guess I wanted to add something because Said is from a rich culture and lower people have a they root from a really ancient tribes in Iran, and they know how to play kamanche. They know.
Yes. Have you heard
don't you play kamanche, in your parties or something?
What is kamanche? Is an instrument?
Musical
Yes.
instrument, yeah. And especially there are two types of them. One of them is called poshbaz, and the other one is poshbaste.
Very good. How do you know that?
One of them is exclusively for people living in Lorestan, Khorramabad. Poshbazar, you can buy them. You can buy them in that place. The original ones come from there, and I love these kind of people living there.
Are you professional at playing something, an instrument or something?
Asking me or Said?
You, Reza.
No, just I love listening to.
Very good.
I love listening.
But I think you had complete information about kamanche and different types of that. How is it possible?
Because I am.
His general knowledge is excellent. I told you before.
It's okay. Just I want to know that can you play it or not?
I personally.
So me,
And no, I am asking Said, can you play the kamanche or not?
no, you know, in our province, just some people can play kamanche. What people call them, excuse me for using this word, calls them luti. Luti is not a is not a good word, but they are artists. I don't know why the other people call them rudely.
Are you
And
sure? Are you sure about the word luti? I've heard that some people call them motreb or something like that.
but in our province they call them luti. I don't know what the reason is. But the voice of Comanche is interesting, and when you hear Comanche, when you hear someone is playing Comanche, you will be relaxed by listening to that. I don't know, dear teacher, dear Salvanas, if you have heard Comanche before, but I want to advise you to yes, I want to advise you to visit the page on Instagram, and that's Faraj Alipur. If you
Parajalipur
search
is
for
excellent. He's excellent at
yes,
playing it.
he has a page on Instagram, and especially his son Muslim Alipur, Faraj Alipur or Muslim Alipur. These two people are professional at playing Kamanche, and if you visit uh, their pages, you will understand what a pretty voice Kamanche has, dear teacher.
Exactly. Thank you for suggesting. I will do that. Thank you very much.
You're
Okay,
welcome. You're
Reza, you tell us what do you usually do in your parties? And a special question I have is about boys and about men. Uh, as men, do you usually help in your parties, or you are just like men who sit and just speak, and just women should come and, for example, offer others to eat, or for example, set up the table and cooking and everything. Mostly, everything is on behalf of women in our Iranian parties. What kind of men are you too? I mean, you too.
Me, I am the kind of person who sits and doesn't help around the house.
Oh my God.
So,
I,
sorry,
I think.
sorry, I'm the kind of person, but it depends on the situation of the host. I mean, if the host has got some problems, she's pregnant or she has difficulty standing up, sitting down, or preparing food, I would definitely would be the first person to volunteer working with, helping him with the housework. But generally, if everything is okay, I would, I don't bother to do anything. I just sit and speak, and I try to keep the guests, entertained enough to enjoy the party.
Uh-huh.
And
Well, I think I don't know whether you live alone or with your family.
I live with my family.
Uh-huh. So whenever your father have some guests, don't you help them?
Because I have enough sisters, enough number of sisters to come come and help my mother. And when there is a guest invited to our house, one of my sisters is automatically invited in order actually to help my mother. And the reason why I can't help is clear, because I come home late, really, something around 10 or 10:15 every night, so I can't be the right person to count on as a helper person. You know, I can't. I can't. I physically I can't be there, and I can't help them.
I got your point, but I think maybe you have to change it for your personal life in the future, because
Definitely yes.
most of the women, or most of the girls right now work outside the house, and they are not the only person who are responsible for managing everything that
Yeah, I
happens in the
understand.
house.
I
I think
understand.
you have to learn something, and you have
Ah.
you have to accept the responsibility for doing some housework. Do you agree?
Yeah, but when it comes to earning money and prioritizing my tasks, I would put the latter one, in the top. I mean, I can't cancel my classes in order to help around the house.
Uh,
So I don't know what's
yeah,
gonna happen to me, but
it is a really complicated discussion.
yes,
Maybe.
making a work-life balance would be really difficult for me, due to the fact that I work something around 10 hours a day, and I would be really tired enough. I know, how can I, I'm really exhausted every night I arrive home, and I don't think that I would be in the mood to help around the house.
Do you know,
So yeah,
some women work this much out of the house, and they just come back home and try to do the housework. And I think maybe
So we don't invite anybody, we just enjoy ourselves.
that would be a better
yeah,
solution. I think our generation, I mean,
Yeah.
you and me and maybe Mr. Saeed, wouldn't have as many guests as our parents. I think because
Mhm.
most of us have most of our mothers are housewives, and maybe they have much more time for doing housework in comparison with us. And I think maybe our generation would be different from our parents regarding these matters.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. Said, what do you think? Do you help around the house?
okay, dear Raza, you told us the whole things about everything, but I want to tell you some things that you were right because the women like to work in a house even if they are employee or if they work out, dear teacher, dear Sarvanaz, because it returns to their creation. Women like to cook, like to clean the house, and it doesn't matter what their job is, but they like to work in a house. But if we want to talk about the men, they are a little, or I don't know, maybe a lot uh, lazier than women, and they stay just in home for watching the TV and for making a mess in a home, and they don't want men to help their wives or their mothers. But if they don't bother women in house, that's a big gift, that's a big present for the women.
You mean that whenever your parents have some guests, you don't help them?
So when we have some guests, I just speak English with them, and this is great help
So all
for
of
my.
your friends and your relatives are educated enough to speak English with you.
I,
Congratulations.
I I was just kidding, excuse me. But when my mother make a pot of tea for our guests, I will take the tea tray, and put them in front of the guests, and the other things I can't do anything
Do
for
you,
helping my mother.
for example, do you help for shopping? I mean, do you buy everything that your mother needs for holding the party?
Yes, yes.
This is, I think,
I
it is
give my mother every month a present, and that's a duty for me
very
because
good.
I wanna say I wanna be thankful from their works that she does for me. And the other thing is sometimes I go out and buy some meat, and especially, you know, women like grocery. Sabzi means grocery. I don't know.
Vegetable.
Sabzi. I buy some grocery for my mother,
Vegetable.
and by doing this, my mother will be happy.
Okay, yeah, that's a nice habit. If you do it every month, that would be really respectful, beautiful, and nice. Thank you. And I just want to ask Reza about the sentence he said. Reza, you said that you try to entertain your guests. And can I ask you, how do you do that?
You know, raising some, you know, topical issues like economy, like inflation, like, you know, politics issues, which our country is involved in. I would entertain them, and another way for entertainment is playing cards. If they are in the mood, I can invite them to a play. And if I want to talk about another way to entertain,
Yeah, do you
so depending on the guest,
yes, very,
maybe I play video games. Video games would be an ideal for youngsters.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And I remember that we sometimes play pantomime, and
Mm-hmm.
it is really interesting, and can makes the atmosphere really happy, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
entertaining.
Yeah,
Have you
exactly.
ever played pantomime with your guests?
To be honest, no, I haven't tried it yet.
I suggest you to
Since
try.
definitely I would go for it.
Yeah, for example,
Uh,
you can have two teams, and
mm,
one team decides about a thing. I mean, a word or a phrase, and
mhm,
one of your team members has to do something and
mhm.
play something in order to send some signals to the other team, and the other members of that team have to guess,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it would be
yeah.
really funny sometimes.
Yeah, you know, we would do it. We would do it whenever we get together with other teachers with English idioms, English vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and stuff like that. And it would really make our day.
That's really great. Where do you do that? In the institute?
No, whenever we go out,
Uh-huh.
whenever we eat out, you know, to liven up the space, to
Oh,
make a change in the scenery, you know, we do it.
is it possible to play in a restaurant or somewhere like that?
Yes, yes, why not? Some traditional restaurants have enough space,
Uh-huh.
enough, you know, provide us enough space and time and atmosphere to play these kind of games.
That's really great. Thank you very
Hmm.
much. And Sai, do you usually play games with your guests?
Okay, you know, we have a bad manner among Iranian family, and that's when we are gathered around each other. Unfortunately, we talk behind the other people who aren't present in that session, and this is not a good manner among Iranian family.
Said, I guess this action is called something else in Lori language.
Gaybat,
No, 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 no. Something more specific. It is called the homali.
Somali, yes, you're right, definitely,
I know
definitely.
that. Would you explain? Would you explain? Would you explain what exactly it means?
Humali, for example, I bought a new and modern automobile, modern car, but you go to your relative's home and you will speak about me, and you say that that car is not his, and that's his father's car. And this is a kind of homali. They don't have the things that the other people have.
Said, what is the difference between gossip and humali? Would you explain?
So gossip is a sentence or is a word that is not correct, and that's a lie. But homali means, for example, you have 3 children, and I want to have 4 children. This means homali. Or you have a Peugeot, like to have another motor car. This is homali.
So it is, a kind of worse version, an updated version of gossip, huh?
Gossip, yes, it might be.
It could be, yeah. Okay, I think our time is over, and I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for joining me on your Friday night, but it was a really great session, and again, thank you. I hope
Uh,
see you the other night.